This is very troubling to me because they've made more than one basically Mark of the Beast. Elon Musk is making something called Neuralink, and he's inserting it into pigs' heads. So that's not the same thing as they had that they inserted into a dog's head when you lost your puppy or whatever. The RFID chip's not the same thing. So we probably need to watch out for that because it could be either. Um, and they're gonna laugh at us, I have a feeling, because like we're gonna say no, that's the mark of the beast, I won't take it, and they'll be like, well, which one's the mark of the beast? To kind of pull the veil over our eyes by having a bunch of different choices is something that I think that they may do. um, of course, the first one stops the buying and selling, but that's if you pay attention to the RFID chip. That's what that does. It stops buying and selling, or at least facilitates buying and selling. Like when you go into your place of work or whatever, the people that have taken them through their place of work, they can buy things in the vending machine and they can buy things because they have that mark on them. Of course, it's voluntary now, but they're coming around the corner with Neuralink too, which basically tells, from what I could see on the pig that he was showing it off on, every time the pig ate or touched its nose, certain areas lit up in the brain, and they transferred those areas lit up in the brain into sound. So basically, every time the pig wants food or thinks of food, you hear these things go off, or especially if he's eating or if he's getting his nose touched, that's when they would go off. But anyway, he is also a billionaire like Bill Gates, um, and he probably already is in conspiracy with Bill Gates and all the other rich people of the world. The billionaires is basically what I'm talking about. They're probably all in conspiracy together because look how the funding's going. Look at how they got a worldwide response on COVID. If they got a worldwide response on COVID, they could get a worldwide response on the currency too. And that may be kind of what they're looking at when they are talking about a digital microchip to go with the virus, or not a microchip, but a certificate to go with the virus. Um, they want to basically map you on microchips. So it's going to be a digital certificate, but it's probably going to be on some microchip somewhere too, being stored, of course, as information. And they're using COVID as an excuse for the buying and selling, that they don't have coins or whatever. They're using COVID as that excuse. So I think I kind of think Bill Gates may have been in on it from the beginning, like they said, and the COVID chips, or the RFID chips, and the COVID. I think that they want to put them together somehow, because they were talking about mapping it on the computer where you have been, if you could get COVID from where you had been or not. And where you had been if you'd come into contact with basically someone who had it. But yeah, they're doing a lot that is just, it's indicating that they've already got the mark of the beast laid out. They're just trying to tie it into currency, so that, and health, so that you can't get your health without a microchip, is where I think it's leading. Um, and I think Elon Musk is on top of it. He's doing the same thing as Bill Gates. He's trying to get something passed for your hand or your head or your arm or something, because they want those marks in there, so that the Antichrist can take over. The Antichrist probably doesn't want his name known yet. He doesn't want to take over unless he's taken over the whole world. So they have to get the whole world put together, and COVID does that. Currency can do that. Food can do that. But they're looking at these things to take over the world, and they're trying to get them together, to line up together, I think. And I think that yeah, I think that's a viable conspiracy theory that Bill Gates made COVID or ordered that COVID be spread here, because they could have not brought those planes home until they quarantined them fully. But the people that they said had COVID, if you notice, they didn't even quarantine them fully. They quarantined them like 10 days or 14 days, nothing like a month. And they were saying that it was spreadable up to like 2 weeks to a month, that it would still be spread. So because it was so tenacious, but this virus, yeah, they didn't act like it was a threat. So it's almost like they knew that it was coming, and they knew about how bad it was going to be. But anyway, yeah, they're making microchips, and it's not just Bill Gates doing it.